test where I didn't get the answers back or get the paper back where it told me, you know, where I need to work on. I never I never got a ticket. I never got a ticket, and the police officer didn't tell me why he was pulling me over and giving me a ticket. I never failed and didn't get some kind of feedback to tell me what I did wrong so I can correct myself. I never got called to the desk at work and was told that, you know, we writing you up, but we not going to tell you why we writing you up. So every time you fail at something, get the feedback, fam. Like, don't cheat yourself and run away from it, run crying under a rock and hide your face under a pillow. If you gonna cry about it, whoop-de-doo, right. Move on and just make a way. Move on to the next thing. Get your report back, read your report, look at all your stats. All right, I need to work on that. All right, cool. Did that. Don't do that next time. They ain't like that. Don't do that. You know, and get back up and just try it again.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player. I was made to build the game.
It is your boy Marcus Morton. Always say with me is the Aaron Mac and the lovely Coco.
Getting started on this episode, I have a question, and this is a segment that once upon a time we had a name for. I was recently listening to a story where a guy and a girl, like, okay, so it's not completely rare for some romantic stuff to happen at sports games, sporting events where, like, well, maybe like during halftime at a baseball game, they'll have like the kiss cam. I think they do it at basketball too. They'll have like the kiss cam or whatever, where they'll like show the camera on the couples or whatever, and they'll try to pretty much influence them to kiss on camera or whatever. Right. Or, you know, some people, like, sometimes they'll try to go like the extra mile and just do the absolute most with that little segment. And, you know, the question here is so I'm gonna like break down the story. So apparently during halftime at this said baseball game, and apparently this happens a lot. And it is a very magical, romantical experience where both people leave in bliss and happiness on most days. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. But anyway, young man shows up on the camera, and I guess he had planned this, like pre-planned, and got everybody on board. Was like, okay, I'm going to pop the question. The big question during halftime. Can you guys point the cameras at us, and I am going to, like, he's going to, like, get the announcers to ask this woman, tell her that, you know, her boyfriend or wants to become her fiance. And this woman, when this happened, my man turned to her, got down on one knee. The announcer said, "Will you be his wife?" Old girl just straight up looked at him and was like, "Nah." Shook her head and kept looking back down on the field. No. So, all right. The question is old girl wrong for doing that?
I mean, that's like public humiliation. But I mean, no, not really, because if she's not feeling it, you know,
if she's not ready,
if she's not ready or not feeling it, then, you know, you shouldn't put yourself in a situation that you're not comfortable with. But there should have been some communication or some type of like sign, connection, something that should have been there. That
Like
There
how
should
we
have been a conversation.
how we
first.
get all the way. Actually, it don't even need to be a conversation because
I
I'm
mean,
like,
if-
yo,
if
like-
they're ready. For
like I know
marriage.
for a fact, that my girl not ready to get married. So if I pop the question to her right now, she'd probably be looking at me crazy.
Right.
No matter how much she love me, no matter how much she say she love me, we just not ready for that.
Thanks.
So
I mean, but how will you know when she's ready? Y'all will have to
You
have
know.
a conversation about that.
you
Or
know,
what?
no,
What, she
a
gonna throw
man,
hints at you?
a man, no. A man, no. Like, ain't no way. Like, yo, how you get all the way to the big stage? And you made a grand, not even a grand gesture, because grand gesture is like us standing on the table in the lunchroom, like, I love this woman. Like, my man is in front of thousands of people on TV and in the stands, and my man just pops the question to a woman that just don't want him like that. And like, what do you do at that point?
For real, all you can do is just take the L. Like, there's
But there was a question saying if a girl says no to a proposal, is the relationship over?
It depends. I gotta say, like, it depends on the context.
yeah, because if she's not like we said, if she's not ready, that's understandable. But if it was like, oh, like, no, I don't see you in that way. I don't see us having a future together. Then it's just like,
Why the fuck are you?
what am I trying for? Deuces.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like, I mean, but like I said, a man, no. You should have known that at some point that this was a bad idea. I just like, and maybe it's because I've been in that position before. I mean, I've never got told no, but I knew in the back of my mind, like, that wasn't the right move to make, and I still made it anyway. But I just feel like, yo,
Maybe she didn't want to be proposed to at a baseball game.
and I thought about that too. I really did, but I was just like, yo, I just don't know. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, girl, wrong, because you know you entitled to. That's a big decision to make. Like, you talking about who you gonna spend the rest of your life with.
Right.
The rest of supposed to be the rest of your life.
You just say she should say yes and just say no behind closed doors.
Oh, we fighting. We fighting. I don't care. We fighting. Like, oh, I'm like, cause I get up, I ask, you say yes, I'm in bliss. I'm in complete, utter, and total bliss.
Oh,
and then you gonna break it down to me at the end of the night. So we need to talk. No, we don't. No, we don't. No.
Talk about the name of these kids we about to have.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think that's gonna work. Cause at that point, you're gonna be forcing them kids, and that's also a crime.
We use marriage, man. Nah.
Y'all tell us what y'all think. Let us know in some shape, form, or fashion. Whether you get to us on Facebook, website, whatever the case is, let us know. Like, yo, what y'all think about that? Cause I'm like on the fence about all of it. Like, I feel like the man at some point should know, like, this probably ain't the right thing to do because she ain't ready. I ain't ready for that. Like,
But I mean, with some people, they get blinded by love or that
and that's infatuation.
yeah, they get blinded. Sometimes that blinds them.
If you blinded, that's infatuation. That ain't love.
Like, they will.
I've been 12.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
We all been 12.
I've been 12.
Facts.
Infatuation and love are two different things.
that moment where your significant other can't do no wrong. You just everything is just sunshine and rainbows with them. It's just like every time you see them, it's just doves flying and just beautiful violin players in the back just playing symphonies and all this other stuff. Just you see that person every day and you just like, you can't do no wrong.
Right.
But not that is infatuation. borderline obsession, and that's not something we do. That's a no.
Never thought of it that way, but you're right.
Borderline obsession.
Yeah, you're right. I never thought of it that way.
Oh yeah. So how do y'all feel about those type of people? The type of people that kind of fall in love like too quickly, or like
they're weird.
Very weird. I had this one guy in high school. I only kissed him, and he was like stalking me. Like,
Alyssa told me that she, I don't know, she said she went on a date with a guy, or she was just like talking to him, but he said that he loved her after like 2 hours.
yeah, oh my goodness. There was this one dude. We started dating. The next day, he was like, "Can you tell me you love me?" No. No. And then the next day, I broke up with him because no.
That's some
That's some problems at home type
but
stuff. You should have called that hotline for those type
I was
of
in
people.
high school. I was a freshman actually. So no.
You tell me you love me. Sorry.
No, that sounded like some old domination type stuff. Like he probably was he like serious when he said it? Like tell me.
I think he was.
Tell me you love me. Say it. Say that shit. Say it now.
He said it in like a playful tone, but I was like, no.
At first he did.
He
I can't remember that.
Y'all
long
probably
ago.
laugh that shit off, and then he was like, say that shit. Oh man. But shit, man. Yeah. So I do have a reveal.
Okay.
I've been working on something for a hot minute.
All right.
So here's what we gonna do.
That's why you've been looking at that.
I want you to grab that clothespin. I mean that pin right there. Pull it, and we're gonna slowly let this down.
Oh, it's glowing.
Oh my goodness!
Has that been glowing this entire
No,
time?
it hasn't.
Yeah.
No, it's been glowing this entire time. Yeah, but that is.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So this is the creation that I've been working on for like the last few weeks, and it's been giving me hell. I'm happy to finally reveal it. This is the Ascension Star. Brought to life.
What's the dirty trunk one?
I don't remember.
But that's dope. I like it. I love it. That's awesome. Yo. How long did it take you to do that?
Longer than I want to admit.
Okay.
Marcus. Longer than I want to admit. I had the idea to do it.
Like toast over here. It's the lights.
I started working on it I want to say 3 weeks ago, and I just been kind of slowly working on it for like the in between days when one nobody here.
That is oh
yeah, it's man, a lot of waiting on
Y'all
parts
see this shit?
A lot of waiting on parts and all that other stuff.
Hey, I'll help you. Can we mass produce that?
Help
Nigga,
me.
what?
Help me do what?
That.
I ain't doing that again. I am not doing that again. I will not. I will give you. I will let you. So I did a DIY video on how to do it. I will let you watch the DIY video. I will give you a list of parts and some instructions, and you can go ahead and you can go ahead. I'm not doing that no more.
Shoot, do it upstairs in the garage.
No more.
It's not letting you in the
Well, we could at some point. We could at some point get a company to mass produce that for us, or like make us a few, and things like that. Yeah, but no, I'm not.
For my birthday.
I'm not doing it. I'm not. I got some extra white.
For the people that can't see, my man Aaron over here just revealed to us.
Oh yeah, because we do have audio only.
Exactly. So
sorry. Should have been watching the video.
Exactly. So if you want to see what Aaron just revealed to us, go to our video on YouTube, Dirty Trunk Podcast, and you can see the Ascension logo.
I'll probably take a picture of it and post it on Dirty Trunk.
Yeah.
The Dirty on the website.
You could, but if you want to.
She wanna be memorized by the lights.
Did you hear our beautiful voices? Go to our video on the Dirty Trunk Podcast on YouTube.
.com. So let's go ahead and get into today's episode of the Dirty Trunk Podcast, fam. So it has been clear to me that a topic that we brought up, and I said it was episode 5 recently, but it was definitely episode 10 where we had this discussion about passion and hard work with Dre, and I believe Paris was on that episode as well with us. And I was telling Dre that I don't know what the work looks like that I need to do in order to make it to where I want to get to. Like, I see the destination. I know clearly where I want to be, but I just do not know how to get there. And that was a problem for me. And I realized recently that Alyssa did give me the okay to tell this story, but she has been struggling to try to figure out how to get to where she wants to be. Right. And it's clear to me, like, a lot of people just do not know what their passion is. And that's why they don't do anything. It's not because it's not because they're incompetent and can't do anything. They never really chased what they wanted to do, because somebody either said, like, you can't do that because you need money to do that, or you can't do that because your family wouldn't support you doing that, or you can't do that because you got kids and you got to stop what you're doing to take care of your kids, your babies, or whatever, or you got family that don't want, whatever the case is. Like, there's a lot of people who just do not follow their goals for whatever reason it is, and instead of them putting themselves around people who could help them and as people that they can seek counsel from, they stay in their current circle and they never try to do anything about it. So in turn, they just forget about it completely. And I wanted to bring that up to the podcast because it's something that I went through. So, I felt like there's somebody who could relate to this conversation, because, like, the more people I talk to, just like everybody has that same problem. They, like, we just wake up and live by accident and just kind of fall into whatever the day has for us, instead of creating our own situation. So how do you feel about that?
I kind of want to say that if there's anything you want to do out there, whether it's your passion or something you just want to get into, there's already been like a path set out. You just have to go out and find it. Right. Whether it's like YouTube videos, a book, there's some type of information written down or made somewhere that you could get a hold of and learn almost about anything. Right. But the work that needs to be put in, you rarely see that anywhere. Usually what you'll see is the finished product of something. Right. And that's what we're attracted to. That's what we see. That's what we want.
Yeah.
But
because the struggle don't look good to nobody.
Yeah. That's really why it isn't shown. Because basketball player highlights, you'll see them make almost every shot in their highlights, but you don't see the hundreds of shots that they've missed.
True.
Usually for like the highlights, you'll see them and they're in the moment, they're hot, they just draining shots, but you don't see what they went through in practice. Right.
And like, people think that Michael Jordan is like, and I just to throw this in there, like, people think Jordan is like he was just born to GOAT.
Oh no, he went through. He was
born to GOAT, but they don't know that he got cut from his high school basketball team,
like, more than once.
Yeah, like, they don't know that Steph Curry, when he, like, his draft report, they shitted on my man in his draft report. Like, they said this kid ain't got no potential. Like, they literally said that Steph Curry ain't got no potential. My man, like, signed a $211 million contract with his team.
Come on.
2 years ago. Yeah. I mean, his coaches and the owner of his team obviously don't feel the same way. He obviously don't feel the same way about himself, or he wouldn't have put in the work that he did to make himself the one of the greatest players in the game.
Really, it comes down to your passion, how bad you want what you want to succeed in or what you want to attain. A lot of times you're going to have to not necessarily make up, but figure out what it takes to get to that point and do it. Just start somewhere and just do it. A lot of the times, the reason why the struggle isn't really shown is because most people will see it and just quit early.
Right.
But a struggle for someone else might not be a struggle for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't write worth of crap. I don't like writing.
Right.
You might love writing. That might be your thing. Your niche.
Well, you know for a fact that I love writing.
That's why I use that's why I use the simile.
Yeah.
But yeah. So really it's just find your passion, find what motivates you. Because motivation is a big part of it. Like, you could start something and then get like maybe like a quarter into it and just like, all right, I'm tired. I'm gonna give up. But like surrounding yourself from what's said from like motivational videos and all this other stuff that I've been listening to. Surrounding yourself with like that.
Yeah, but like here's the thing. Like here's the challenge here. What if I have never been in the realm of thinking to even contemplate on my passion or my dream, because the world around me is so screwed up that it just told me like, look, this is where you at and this is where you gonna be. How do I find it then?
You have to make it in yourself. Something in you has to change, that has to be like, all right, this is what everyone's doing, but I don't want to be like everyone else. I don't want to be stuck in this farm, this social norm of just being average.
Right.
I need to do what I need to do. If it's read a book, learn something to get out of that.
Right.
So I listened to something recently. E.T. was talking about how he was in Dubai.
Oh yeah.
And he he had to get like a podcast he did off his recorder and like upload it or something like that. Yeah. And he went to the Mac store or whatever. Or no. Yeah, he went to the Mac store. They couldn't put it on there on the internet because the service was like crappy. Yeah. So he goes back to the hotel and he's asking like the people behind the desk. He's like, "Hey, can I use for such and such?" It's like, "Oh, we don't know how to do that." Yeah. This dude in a suit, he just comes up. He's like, "What's your problem, man?" He's like, "All right, I'm trying to upload this piece of the podcast to the junk." And he was like, "Well, we got this computer back here. They're about to, sell it anyway. If you don't mind your information being on it, you can use that." He was like, "All right, cool." So he's getting his stuff or whatever together or whatever, and he was like, some Hispanic lady comes in. The dude that was just helping him go speaks to the Hispanic lady. He's like, huh? Some Indian people come in, and dude in suit, same dude, go speaks to them, help them out. He's like, huh?
Oh yeah,
Some other people that speak another language come in.
Yeah, I did.
The home dude helps them out. And he's like, "Hey, bro, man, how many languages you speak?" He was like, I think he was like 6 of them.
Yeah,
or something.
6 languages. Yeah.
And he was like, they teach you that in school? He was like, nah, they just teach us, the regular language he speaks. And he was like, so he's like, why would you learn like these other languages or whatever? He was like, cause everybody that speaks like one language where he's from is out there slaving, like working construction and all this other stuff. And he was like, he wanted something different for himself.
Because there's like the more languages you speak out in other countries, the more profitable you are because you can do more.
Right.
Yeah, and that's crazy because he used the comparison on the because I remember that podcast. I listened to it last week, and the week after he talked about that story like real brief, but he gave that that analogy of when the guy said that if you speak more than one language, then you're profitable. You can make more of a living than when you speak one. And he was like, yo, and here our schools in the United States barely teach one language.
Barely teach English. That's what we speak.
Right, and that's the language. That's our native tongue, if you can call it that, because I feel like English is just a ripoff of other languages.
It really is. That.
Oh yeah.
Not getting to that.
I want to go back to like people and like how they just like fail to look in the direction of finding themselves, because like I hear so many times like people say that that something can't be done, like they just count themselves out before they even try. And that is something that really bothers me, because I'm like, yo, you're literally saying that you want to do something, and you're not the first to say that you want to do it. And you can do it better than the person who did it before you. The problem here is that you saying that you can't do it, and it's already been done. Like, man already showed you that they can do this, that it's possible, and you're sitting here telling me that you can't do it because XYZ. And most of the time, because of the amount of challenges that some people who face who comes to find success, they go through a lot when they're trying to find that success. And most of the time, these people have gone through a lot more than the people who I'm talking to. And it's crazy, because like you will hear a situation about like Steve Harvey, who lived out of his car while he was doing shows in the underground scene. And made and found a way to become successful doing that. And somebody else would just be like, yo, you got like a privileged lifestyle where you know people in every city that you ever went to, and you can stay at everybody's house, but you still won't make that jump to try to be profitable in what you want to be profitable in. Like, I don't understand that how that works. Because if I knew people that lived in other places, bro, like I would be everywhere. Like the only place that I really know people is Baltimore. Like, I'm just being real. Like Baltimore and Thomasville, North Carolina. Those are the only two places that my family have seemed to travel to.
You can't sugarcoat it. It's pure laziness. They don't want to put in that drive. They're comfortable where they at. They don't have to.
I think some people have low self-esteem when it comes to trying new things. They're afraid of being judged by other people.
They judge Jesus.
I know, but some people don't have that mentality. They have low self-esteem. They don't believe in themselves unless someone believes in them.
Bruh,
but
like,
even that though, you can only do so much with somebody believing in you if you don't believe in yourself.
Facts. And I think we kind of did I talk about this recently? Believing in yourself. Like, I feel like I talked about that on the previous podcast, but I mean, regardless, like you can't be like looking for external validation when you're trying to accomplish something internal. Right. Like I didn't get to what I'm doing and the confidence level that I have right now by waiting on somebody else to tell me how good I am at what I do. I don't even believe that I'm that good at what I do yet. I do it because I want to be great at it. I do it as training, so to say, to be good at what I do. Like, I don't wait for anybody. Like, I've never sat back and look at the comments of a video. I don't like go out to seek validation for people to say, okay, well, you know, you probably don't want to be doing that, because why do I want to listen to somebody who ain't never built anything? Right. Why would I get constructive criticism from somebody who ain't never even turned a screwdriver?
Ooh, that's just like CJ from the last podcast, how he got into longboard and all that. Yeah. He put in the work. He got good at it. He's not the greatest, but he's still making strides to be the greatest. Now he's had his falls, his scars, his bruises, and all that, and just outside looking in, you would see his finished product, be like, "Oh man, you're good," and all this other stuff. He's like,
but you don't know the bruises I got. Man. Yeah, you don't know how many times I hit that concrete, man. You just don't know. People
that would try to copy that, they will have their first fall, and it's like, "Ah, man, this this hurts like hell.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they would quit right there. But if they're passionate about it and want to just get out that social norm, they will find the motivation and, you know, change and get out there and do it.
I think back on like my forefathers and the generations before me, where all of the adversity that they had to go through, like slavery was a thing. Like I listened to E.T. recently, like all the time. He always said that his like during the time with the era of the podcast that I'm listening to right now, I think I'm like I'd have binge watched binge listen to E.T.'s podcast over the past few months, and I'm like on like episode 70 now. And at that point, he said like every time somebody asked him when was the last time you cried, like he said like when I was watching the movie Hidden Figures. And I've never watched Hidden Figures, but there was this point where, you know, because the ladies, they work at NASA. And there was this one point in the movie where her boss like went in on her because she disappeared every day around the same time, and she'll disappear for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh yeah, that's because she had to
run for 2 miles to the bathroom. And she went off on him like, yo, like, and it just spoke to how privileged we are as a generation, because we look at the smallest of challenges and say, man, I can't do it. Like we'll run out of gas, and it'll be our own fault that we run out of gas.
Fact.
And just to say because we can't get to the gas station to get more gas, we blaming the world and saying that we can't accomplish something because it's something that we created in our own mind. Like, yo, like there has been generation after generation after generation that said that, you know, that they went through some kind of hardship that trumps everything that you ever went through in your entire life, and yet you up here making excuses about why you can't do something.
Thanks.
And it pisses me off, bro. It pisses me off, like on a molecular level.
I used to drive a car where the gas hand didn't work at all. So like basically riding on faith. But
straight faith.
But after you know a couple of running out of gas, like I got on top of it to where I could keep it afloat for like months without running out. So learn from your struggles, learn from your mistakes, learn from
other people's mistakes.
Yes, and like just grow. Like they're there for a reason. Like mistakes aren't just mistakes. They're lessons. They're words to live by, things to follow. And they're examples of like what not to do or what to do better. Yeah, like stop looking at mistakes as something
that you need to stay away from.
Yeah, like learn from them.
Embrace them hoes.
Ooh, yes, with open arms.
Open arms. So we had this saying in the Ascension Media group that there's no such thing as losses. There's only wins, and then there's learning experiences. If you take a loss and you look at it as a loss, you already failed yourself. Take that loss, flip it around, learn from it, figure out why you lost, and the next time you do it, whatever that action is, you know what not to do. That's the easiest way to go through it. Will Smith said that you had to fail hard, fail fast, and fail forward.
Right.
Fail hard, fail fast, and fail forward. The amount of times that I hear people say that they don't want to do something because they are afraid to fail at it. Oh, I don't want to do this interview because I might fail. Well, if you fail at it, then you learn. I mean, 9 times I ain't never did an interview where I failed at and they didn't tell me why I didn't succeed at that interview. I've never had that happen. I've never failed the test where I didn't get the answers back or get the paper back where it told me, you know, where I need to work on. I never got a ticket. I never got a ticket, and the police officer didn't tell me why he was pulling me over and giving me a ticket. He just come in like, sign this here, bye. Like that never happened. Like I never failed. True. I never failed and didn't get some kind of feedback to tell me what I did wrong so I can correct myself. I never got called to the desk at work and was told that, we writing you up, but we not going to tell you why we writing you up. They always say, well, you didn't make rate this week. You didn't make your production. You came in late on this day. You running out of time on here. They didn't say, they never called me to the desk and told me, and never told me why they was calling me to the desk. So every time you fail at something, get the feedback, fam. Mm-hmm. Like, don't cheat yourself and run away from it, run crying under a rock and hide your face under a pillow. If you're going to cry about it, whoop-de-doo, right. Move on and just make a way. Move on to the next thing. Get your report back, read your report, look at all your stats. Mm-hmm. All right, I need to work on that. All right, cool. Did that. Don't do that next time. They ain't like that. Don't do that. And get back up and just try it again. And so many people just try to hide from failure. Like when you try to hide from failure, I promise you don't live. You would never live if you try to hide from failure. Facts. Because you will spend so much of your time worrying about what not to do that you never spend the time thinking about the things that you need to do to move forward.
True. That's kind of like where we work at. Cause somebody will be on me about production, and I'm just like, if I fail at production, they'll come to me, they'll tell me, and then wherever I need to work at, I'll just work harder in that section of where I need to work at, and I won't get
Now let's be real. Like our job really don't really matter in that regard. Like you don't have to think to work at where we work at. Like it's real disrespectful where we work at. And it's funny though.
The thing that happened.
It's funny. Oh God. It's crazy that I know people who would look at a job like that and say that I wouldn't even disrespect myself working there. I wouldn't even disrespect myself for applying to work there, like at a place like that. I wouldn't even put my body through that. I wouldn't put my family through that. My family don't deserve what that place will give me if I work there. And then we know people who work there willingly on purpose and are completely fine with it.
Content.
And don't try to do anything about it on a day-to-day basis. Like, bro, how you work there for 5 years and every time I see you and you open your mouth, this first thing that come out your mouth is I'm ready to go. How that what you doing to leave this place and not come back?
That's the way of life. The brain is going to go with the path of least resistance. And with that comes laziness. Back to laziness. Not sugarcoating. Get your butt off your couch and your rut of a life and just do something great with your life.
Plain and simple, bro. When you get off of work, don't go back home and just wait for your next shift. Like for 5 years, bro, like the amount of focus you could have put into something for 5 years, like, bro, like really.
It's ridiculous. I remember one time, I think it was might have been the first or second time. It was the first time working at the job that we're at. I remember getting off work, and I remember going home, falling asleep. Mm-hmm. But I was on the night shift at this time, so
right.
It was supposed to just be a regular nap, because I always take a nap, do something, then go to sleep. Took this nap, and waking up, it was time to go to my next shift, and I was like,
"Bro, you didn't take a nap. You went to bed."
But that's the thing, though. It was supposed to have been a nap,
and you slept the whole day away.
A whole day.
You slept the whole day. Now imagine what Alyssa's going through.
What am I doing with my life? This is not the way.
Bro, did you know that work, like, with the side effects, the long-term side effects of working a night shift and trying to be nocturnal?
What are the side effects?
There's side effects. There are real life side effects for trying to be nocturnal.
Oh, what are the side effects?
You lose sunlight for one thing. My man said on this podcast that I was telling y'all about recently, my man said that working night shift is a carcinogen, and it could literally cause your body to destroy itself from the inside out. Like, there's studies of what the lack of sleep could do to you by working on night shift.
Oh, it can go that deep?
It can go that deep.
Like from the German study of keeping people up in the chamber and they go like psycho crazy.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh man, bro. Okay.
I just listened to the podcast. My man said something about working night shift. He said that could be horrible for you. It could cause cancer and all other type of stuff. And
I mean, what doesn't cause cancer?
Right, but that's he said it was like it can destroy your immune system. It could do some other things. And I'm like, yo, the first thing I thought about was Alyssa. I'm like, yo, I can't allow that to continue. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I just cannot allow that to continue. It can't be her life. I can't let that happen. So,
that's pretty interesting. I did try to do that. First time working at the job we're working at. Tried doing night shift and having a successful day life. It bit me in the butt. I'm telling you. I mean, I got what I needed done, like school and all that other stuff, but I was tired. I was like, luckily I had a math class. I had 2 math classes that were back to back that I was able to fall asleep in. So I did get some sleep.
Oh, well, you were math whiz anyway, so.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, so.
Like, even my counselor, he was like, bruh, you are phenomenal at math. Every time I passed your class, you was asleep. And you passed it with an A and a B. I was like, hey, man, it's math. It's just little numbers. Not to toot my own.
Not this motherfucker. Not this motherfucker. Nah.
But yeah, it's have a respect for yourself. Like, you have to take care of yourself in most of these situations dealing with jobs like that. Cause I worked construction and they give no fucks about you and your well-being.
No job does.
I mean, but construction is like 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Solar power plant, the heat got up to like in the hundreds. And they won't let you leave unless the heat index is over 108.
Yeah. Because heat index is usually lower than the actual temperature, right?
Yeah. So I'm like,
it's the same thing with the Army too.
But if it's over 100,
it's hot. It's hot.
You can die.
It's hot.
Not the solar power plant, but another construction job. I was working during the winter. -degrees. My beard on my face and my mustache was frozen. They had icicles on them.
I believe it.
Like, this is like cartoon icicles on them. I worked for a Mexican dude that had the beard with the handlebars. Icicles like just draping from it. I was like, bruh. I bought a soda that morning, not even 10 minutes into my job. I put my soda down, went back to take a sip. It was a block of ice.
So you give for drinking a soda and the ice.
This is true. But it's just like take care of yourself, of your main character.
Star player. Take care of your star player. Take care of them.
No one else will. Like these jobs, like they will put you
these jobs ain't
through hell and back, and you're only making them a profit. You're only getting like not even a fraction, a whole number fraction of what the job is making. The job will always be there.
Did I literally tell a group of people today at work that your job only pays you enough to keep you from remembering your dreams and goals, and they just scooted on past the conversation like I didn't say that shit. Didn't give not one thought to what I said.
They tried to understand that, but
did they? I ain't see that. That ain't what I saw. It's just like the meme that I posted yesterday. I posted it was a meme that said that it's sad when it's sad when the only clothes you wear is your work. Excuse me. It's sad that the only clothes that you wear is your work clothes and your bed clothes. And I reposted that saying that most of y'all ain't even gonna be offended by this. Nobody was offended by it, but that's probably on me too, because that means that my circle ain't ain't
where it need to be.
My circle ain't where it need to be. One person got it, of course, Mr. Eric Hicks. Shout out to Eric Hicks.
Hey.
Yeah, my man, he's an entrepreneur spirit. So yeah, anytime when it comes to entrepreneur talk, like I'm going to Eric. Like I'm trying to get Eric to come with us to the 1% conference in October.
Thanks.
So yeah. So
I remember he was over there at the landing desk when I was getting trained. I think it was like my first couple of days at Amazon or something. And he was talking about something, and he was like, he wasn't a real good people person, so he read books and did what he needed to be so he could speak to people.
Yeah, he became a learning ambassador for that.
Oh, I was like, that's dope.
Yeah, my man is always on the up and up, and I love that. But you out here saying that you don't know people who will inspire you to be great. You don't have anybody who can uplift and motivate you, and that may be true, but like if you weren't so adamant about keeping your family and your no good friends in your life, then that wouldn't necessarily be a problem. Like I know for a fact, like I can't go tell my dreams and my goals to my family. It's a reason why I don't talk to my family. My family don't understand. They don't understand wanting to put 1,000 hours of content online. They don't understand wanting to get a book published. They don't understand wanting to be the next Stan Lee. Therefore, I'm not going to talk to them about it. They weren't meant to understand that. Right. That's not their level of thinking. So I'm not going to force them to try to understand my level of thinking. I'm just going to find somebody who does understand my level of thinking, and I'm going to talk to them. We want everybody to be comfortable around you. You want to love and accept everybody into your circle, but you can't love and accept everybody into your circle. Yeah, you can be cordial with people. You can be friendly with people, but you can't have everybody in your circle. Right. Squares do not fit in the circle hole. It's just not how that works. You think about the kid block, the little alphabet train or whatever the thing is that kids have, where they put the circle in the circle hole, got the square in the square hole, got the triangle in the triangle hole. You ever seen a kid like they will spend hours? They get entertained about the damn toy, just trying to put the square in the circle hole. Just sit there for hours just trying to do that. You cannot do it. Like it just does not work that way. So if the people around you don't understand the lingo that you speak, find the people who understand what you're trying to say. Find the people who can pull out the inner beast in you, the people that make you better than you are now, and stop being afraid of having the people around you that are going to challenge you. How many people do we know that just want to have yes men around them all the time? I don't want yes men around me. I do not want yes men around me. Courtney challenges me every step that I take. I love that. Love that. I do not want yes men around me. Like I need to have people around me to help me grow. So yes, change your circle. Change your attitude about your circle. Love your mom, but if she don't understand what you want to do, love her from a distance. Embrace all your relationships and don't turn your back on nobody. because that is not what I'm saying, telling people to do. Because I know there's somebody out there like, oh, you just telling me to turn my back on my family. No, I'm not telling you to turn your back on your family. That's definitely not what I'm trying to do. You can be cordial with your family. You can be cool with your family. But what I'm telling you is that when it's time to go to the lab, when it's time to sit down with your passion, your dream, your goals, if your mom don't understand your dreams and your goals, when you in the lab, get your mom out the lab.
If you gotta not necessarily cut people off, but if you gotta change your circle just a little bit to succeed, to get that motivation, to get around that right crowd that understands what you want to do in life, then do that. You don't necessarily have to burn bridges or cut people off.
Let's take a step back.
And
away from them.
Just take a step back away from them.
Yeah. Be friendly from a distance. Use your cell phone for what it's supposed to be for.
Ooh. Because some people don't know.
And stop answering phones during business hours.
If it ain't Jesus, don't pick it up.
Yeah. Because, I'm going to be real with you. If it ain't business related, you can't talk to me between 3 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m.
That's whole hours.
Between the hours of 3 a.m. and 6 p.m., do not call me if it's not business related.
That's not whole.
All right.
No, the whole hour's out of reverse.
Yeah.
That's 3 p.m. to 6 a.m.
It's like, wait, what? During the day? What?
No, I don't know nothing about that life. I ain't never been privy of the booty call. Like, I got shit to do, so don't call me at 2 o'clock.
Don't look at me. I ain't into that sneaking into your mama house at a certain amount of time and gotta go through the window. I'm a hefty fella. Fitting through windows ain't my thing. If I gotta
sneak into your mom's house, I'm in the wrong house.
Right. Too old for that.
I'm too old. I was too old for that when I was too young for that. Let it go.
Like, people would do that willingly. I'm just like, bro, man, like, you ain't got no morals for yourself. Like, bro, like, first of all, that's a lot of work you putting into just to get 3 minutes of pleasure. Let's be generous. 3 minutes of pleasure.
Three minutes is generous. He said three minutes is generous.
Do I need to go lower?
I don't know.
I said generous. I said 3 minutes of pleasure. 3, 2, 1. I don't know. Minutes. This is minutes now. Still minutes. You done drove about 30 minutes to get to that destination.
You done spend more time driving than the actual action.
That's sad.
Like, what's going on here?
Man, you done wasted a whole hour doing nothing.
Exactly. People would do this faithfully. I'm like, yo. How did we get here?
It would not be the Dirty Trump podcast if we didn't take this into a TVMA rating.
Confused.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I'm weak, man, and it's crazy because, like, growing up, I used to always hear guys like talking about like all these different women and like how they like. I still got a cousin. I still got a cousin. Yeah. Not only just that, but some other stuff too. Yeah. But I got a cousin. He's like older. I think he's like in his he's like late 40s, and my man like refuses to settle down. Like, he just different women. All my life he's been with different women. And I'm like, yo, and he like looks at me because I want to find love. Like, he looked at me side eyed. I'm like, yo, what fulfillment do you get by just having a different woman in your bed every night? Literally, where, how we get here?
Men have different aspects of what a man has to be.
It's an environment thing.
It might be. I remember I used to work at the shipyard, and this dude would just like rag on me for like not like pursuing women like that. Like he was like, you're in your 20s. He was like, in my 20s, I was having different women each and every night. And I'm just like, bruh, I wasn't raised that way.
Right.
Like,
right.
My folks brought me up on, giving your seat up for a woman that, just standing Being respectful, a lot of that, and just that's not how I was raised, and just like different stuff like that. He would just rag me on that. I did not like the shipyard at all. And it was all brought back to being a man. Like, we talked about being a man more than the work that needed to be done. And I was just like,
and their definition of being a man was just like
a womanizer, basically.
Be in it for yourself, nobody else. Take care of you, and fuck the world.
Basically.
Yeah. I got family like that, man. Like Like I can't tell you how many times I get the look when I go out with Alyssa. I don't let her touch doors around me.
I feel you.
I don't let her touch doors. Like, I just don't. I don't feel like she should have to. Like, I feel like I should protect her, and I know that might be a little crippling, because at one point, if I don't open the door, and she might mess around and run into it or something. It's just. I mean, it could. Situations build habits. I get that, but like. I do it because, like, if I ever have daughters, I want my daughters to see how a man is supposed to treat a woman.
Right.
Because I don't want my daughters just going out there trying to find anything and falling for everything. And I want my sons to see how you treat a woman, because all my kids will understand, like, daddy treats mom like a queen. So we should either seek to be treated as a queen, or I should be the king to treat my woman like the queen that she's supposed to be. So I do that for that reason. Like, this is not like, and certain, like, I've been told, like, cause it's something that's in my DNA. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm just chivalrous. Like, I cater to the woman. But it's just who I am.
Right.
Like, whatever Alyssa needs, and it bothers me because the girl don't need me. She's independent as fuck. Like, she does everything on her own. So it's like it bothers me, but I'm just like, yo, I am here. Let me do stuff. Let me help you. Let me be here for you. And she just like, nah. I'm like, I'm good.
I'm good.
But yeah, like, this is ingrained in me, and I've had guys tell me. Like I said, I've always done this, even before I met her, to somebody who didn't deserve it before her. But regardless, that's not what I'm getting at here. But I've had guys tell me, like, man, you making me look bad. No,
Nigga,
make yourself look bad.
You doing what you doing for your girl. I mean, that's on you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm doing what I'm doing because this is me.
Thanks.
That value is ingrained in me. It's not a behavior thing. It's a value.
And in some cases, women like that. Women like the opposite of you. For some strange
that's true.
reason.
That is damn true.
They are attracted to that.
That is true.
Opposite.
Why?
I have been looked at as a soft because of that.
Oh, Brett. Oh my God. So
Triggered. He's triggered.
Yep.
So been rejected for
Being too nice.
Yep, being too nice. Being too short by a female that was shorter than me. I never understood that. Like,
it's like, bitch, I'm 5'6". I don't come no other way.
right.
I was talking about him, by the way. I'm 6'1".
Okay. You would have been perfect for said lady.
No, because if she thinking like that, she definitely not perfect for me.
Tragic. Like, everyone
In
is
her
6'1"
eyes,
to you.
yeah.
I'm just like, what? Girl, you damn.
But
man,
then again, I don't know if Alyssa's 5'8", so Alyssa's 5'8", so I don't know if I was any shorter than this, she would be taller. I don't think she would have went for that.
Oh.
Just saying. I don't know. We never talked about it.
Put it in the comments so we can talk about it next. No. We're kind of at our mind. We could probably say this for the next podcast. I'm not sure. How do you feel about the people that don't have that that model male figure of chivalry in their life? Like, what's the question?
I get what you're saying. Like the people who they never had that male role model in their life, and they don't know how to be that person because they never seen it.
Yeah. Ooh. Just like
or they had that mother that was like, "You don't need a man for nothing. Look at me."
Oh my. Oh. Yeah. Them.
Oh.
Dems. Dems. Yeah.
Dems.
The ones that's out here destroying our women. Straight up destroying them.
Yep. Just like the song by Lupe Fiasco. The B word is bad. Lady good. Woman better. We misunderstood. Get it together.
Never heard that, but
never heard that song?
I think I might have to look it up.
Oh, we about to do a review video? Nah. Cause that's real. That's a real song. But you ain't never heard that song?
Oh, I stopped listening to Lupe Fiasco after the whole Kick Push. Actually, I never listened to Kick Push. I didn't really like that song. Huh. But yeah, I didn't really listen to Lupe because back then I was trying to follow the trends, and the trend back then wasn't to listen to music that had a message.
Oh, gotcha.
That was around the snap, crackle, and pop era.
Lupe had a lot of those.
Yeah, so,
Understood.
And Lupe didn't have a club song, so I listened to listen to Gucci Mane a lot, and to everybody in 1017. All right, guys. Get over to Facebook and let us know what you think about the podcast. Be sure to leave us a review to raise our standings a little bit, and try to share this podcast to get our viewership up. We definitely love making these podcasts. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I love Tuesday nights. I love Tuesday nights. It's just so chill. So I mean, I wish we weren't missing a person, but
we wish you were here.
It's been a long day without you. We singing to the empty chair on set, so it's all good.
Keep on. We're gonna start leaving what's that thing they do for the fallen veterans? The lemon and the rose on the plate.
What the fuck?
What?
Remember, I went to like some military ball. You know, like the military balls are like.
Did you say a lemon?
Is it a lemon? It's always something on a plate. It's like a table with a chair in the corner, and it's like a rose on it or something, and like some other fruit or something, or a napkin folded. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to those things. Well, I mean, I did, but I'm like, all right.
Hold up, bro. I got the. Oh no. Ah, man, thank you guys for listening to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, and we will catch you next week.
Peace
out.
Peace.